Two things took place when Jesus returned to heaven. Number one, he led captivity captive. Number two, he gave gifts to men. So what does it mean that he led captivity captive? Well, let me tell you. No. There is a common view held that Jesus, what he did was, when he died upon the cross and was laid in that tomb, that he descended into hell, Hades, and he preached to the souls of those that Satan has held captive. Then he freed those who responded to his preaching and took them to heaven. That's a very commonly held view of this passage. I don't believe it's right. And I say that because that's not actually what it says. Right? What does it say? It says he led captivity captive. So what has been taken captive? Captivity has, hasn't it? Right? What is captivity? Well, captivity is what enslaved us. What were we held captive by? We were held captive by sin, death, and the grave, weren't we? No, it was our destiny. Every single one of us was destined for that, and we had no way of escaping it ourselves. So Jesus, in his descending and his ascension, has taken captive those things that once held us captive. Let me tell you, it's a far more beautiful, encouraging understanding than the previous one. But hang on a minute. Doesn't it say there, now this, he ascended, verse 9? What does it mean by that he first descended into the lower parts of the earth? There you go. Pretty clear, isn't it? Jesus first descended into the lower parts of the earth. There it is. He went to hell. Doesn't say that. What Paul is doing is he's simply borrowing Psalm 68 to describe Christ's accomplishment through his incarnation when he came to the earth and his ascension when he returned back to the Father. For as Jonah was 3 days and 3 nights in the belly of the huge fish, so the Son of Man will be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth. Jesus is nowhere there teaching that he's going to go to hell. What happened on the third day after he was laid in that tomb? He rose from the dead. Now they saw that, didn't they? God himself came to this earth in flesh, humbled himself by taking on the stench of our guilt. He covered himself with our filth and he died in our place. That's descending. There was no battle in hell for your soul. It's nowhere taught in the scripture. Jesus finished his work on the cross. His final words was what, Christians? It is finished. Tetelestai is the word in Aramaic, and it means paid in full. It is finished. And then he committed his soul into hell? No, he committed his soul into his Father's hands. You see, he didn't say to the cross, the thief that was on the cross, he didn't say to him, well, look, can you just stay there for a few days? Because I haven't quite finished my Father's work yet. No, it's completed. It's completed upon the cross. That's the descension. Nowhere is Jesus subject to the authority of Satan. Nowhere in the scripture. Least of all after he has died upon the cross and committed his spirit to the Father and gone back to the Father. One of my favorite verses is Galatians chapter 5. It says, it is for freedom that Christ has set us free. You've been freed for freedom's sake. You've been freed to remain free. You've been freed to never ever again be taken captivity, to never ever again be entangled in the things of this world, to never be held as a slave to those things that separated you from Christ. You've been set free. Free. Right?